Guys, so just to follow up on my last video, actually, I thought, I was having so much fun with it, I thought I might just go ahead and look at, this is actually the Princeton Review's digital SAT, and I've played around with this before, and I remember being really impressed by it. It's kind of like harder to find than some of the other digital SAT practice tests that are out there. I had to go through like an Indian little firm. I can give you guys instructions, like maybe I'll put it in the video description if I end up uploading this on YouTube or whatever that might be. But let's take a look at this. I mean, this, okay. This would be like fuses. Yeah. I mean, harmonizes is maybe like too plausible, but not a bad question, I guess. I mean, harmonizes a variety of influences. Yeah, I think this is a decent question. Okay, she does blanks the traditional slash poison burn approach. Have little success. She rebuts that, but that's, I mean, that's honestly not the best word choice here, but I mean, it's not terrible. She rebuts is like kind of like rejects or goes against, but typically it involves like, I don't know, going against it in like a more public way than this would suggest, and like kind of a direct takedown. It's not terrible though, and all in all, I'm like, yeah, I would say like B for this question. Okay, this looks good because at least it's like directly taken from a real text here, like a real novella. Jekyll and Hyde, which we've heard about. And let's see. No, typically I think the word should be underlined, but not a big deal. Began to haunt the door in the by street of the shops in the morning. Okay, haunt here, many students would take this kind of too literally and would say like, yeah, something negative like torment. It's just occupy here. These wrong answer choices aren't that strong in my mind. Like I probably could have written better wrong answer choices. If I was writing this, what would I say? Began to haunt the door, began to, I'd need like a word that was like kind of like ghostly or spectral. Began to, I'm trying to think what I would write as like a wrong answer choice. Kind of an interesting question. Began to haunt the door. I would want something negative. Began to, yeah, torment's almost there, but they didn't quite get the torment. Began to plague. Yeah, I'd like something like plague, something along those lines. I feel like I could have written better answer choice for this, but not a bad question. And at least it's from a real text. Okay, I wonder if this is real. Red cape, waved by the matador. Adult cow should regret one of the 8 cows. Okay, okay, it's honestly not bad. It's honestly just not that bad, all in all, compared especially to some of the other questions I've looked at and tests I've looked at. I think that should be C. Okay, again, we've got at least a real novel. This is something that this is kind of like the Princeton Review self-plagiarizing, because they have actually used this before, I think in Princeton Review Practice Test 1. And so I don't like the fact that they're like using their old materials and not coming up with fresh stuff for the digital test. Yeah. I don't know. Foreshadows a potential resolution to a dilemma. No. Contributing factor to the conflict discussed in the text. Okay, maybe. Yeah, okay, sure. SAT doesn't really do this whole like last sentence of the text thing, but it's not terrible. I'm wondering if a lot of this is self-plagiarized. Like I'm wondering if the Princeton Review has just kind of repackaged some of their like paper-based offerings into this. I'm not as familiar with the Princeton Review test as with the official test because, yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of curious. What I think I'll do is I'll just Google this and see if we get one of those like old Princeton review tests, because I'm curious to know if that's what they're doing, which is kind of lazy, honestly. It's not terrible, but let's just Google. Somehow that didn't get copied over. I wonder if they're like preventing me from copying. Yeah, maybe. Does mindfulness have physiological benefits beyond? So I'm just going to Google it. Does mindfulness meditation have physiological benefits beyond? Is that going to give me a Princeton review? Not from what I'm saying. Does mindfulness meditation have physiological benefits? Yeah, maybe it's a new question. So, okay, I'm happy about that. Yeah, okay. This is like a super easy question, and it's like, it's not stolen from an SAT question. It's modeled very strongly off an SAT question. Maybe I could even pull it up to show you guys what I mean. Let's take a look at the model. And modeling is not a bad thing, actually. Let's just pull up the SAT digital sample questions, and then we can maybe find out. That's straight. I mean, and I'm not against modeling, because in a lot of ways, like, you need to model to create a good exam, but it's just a matter of how well you're modeling things. So let's see what this is modeled after. Is it modeled on this one, reading rating question 1? Just pull this to one side, and let's take a look. Okay. African drum, plants and vegetables from Arizona. Materials for making the drum include. Which choice is this? Was this a main idea? Yeah. Yeah. So like, Taylor finds it difficult to locate the Arizona root dock in the desert, versus John Gay struggles to find the wood needed for the djembe in Mozambique. And like, yeah, obviously the College Board's done a much better job with this. Yeah, like, look how similar those answer choices are. And again, not a terrible thing to do, but you just have to be very artful as you're doing it, right? And like, this is a lot, like, answer choice C is a lot worse than any of the College Board's answers, because it's like so obviously like extreme. Yeah. And then like, yeah, our correct answer for this is C, which is like D here. So they've just modeled this pretty directly. But I would say like the original is like a lot richer and better. And I'm wondering, is Jongay a real man? Let's see. Curious about that. Jongay making a djembe? If not, this is kind of racist. Okay, no, it is real. It is real. So I should, if they're just making up names and making up instruments, that's pretty bad. But Princeton Review has been smarter than that. So okay, fair enough. All right, let's keep going. Soiling, to believe that clean soil empowers will increase energy efficiency. Okay, this looks like a decent question. I mean, I get the sense that it's modeled after something. And I mean, we could probably look back in those digital SAT samples and find what it's modeled after. Because is this like a which finding, if true, would, and I'm wondering, okay, to test this, series estimated cost, I'm wondering. Okay, I think they've actually done a decent job modeling there. And like I said, again, I'm not against modeling, whether it's fashion modeling or modeling your SAT questions. So I think, this is fine, and they've done a decent job with this. Let me just zoom in on this question a little bit. Okay, A Warrior's Judgment is a collection of poems, and the poem narrator describes his spiritual purity despite a physical battle. Torn and turn. 'Cause, 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 Each step I fought my journey through, he strove to keep me from the goal. Though he scored me, yet I conquered, master. He's not scarred the soul. Okay, yeah, probably C. Not bad. Okay. Specifically, 60% of the... This looks too easy, but it's fine. Yeah. Fine, easy graph question. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, honestly, I'm fairly impressed by Princeton Review. I think they've done a nice job compared to almost anybody else. They don't make like silly mistakes. And I wonder if we have like only 20. I'm only seeing 20 questions here. This is a fine question. So yeah, honestly, Princeton Review is the winner. And these may, are they used for clothing? Yeah, this is a dangling modifier question. It's a pretty nice one. Yeah, honestly, shared with its members, ITS. Yeah, okay. Princeton Review gets my a difference between the two dances. Yeah, kind of basic, but fine. Bisa Butler. Emphasize the authenticity. Not quite the right way to do this, but they, again, decent. Okay, this is a problem because this transition word question should have come before those rhetorical synthesis questions. So just a structural issue. Marine deposits from oceans. Okay, however, freshwater versus the oceans. Okay, fine. Yeah. Yep, this okay. Let's see if we can just go ahead and solve this. Federer was one of the first to become well known for his written work as the Somali alphabet was formerly now still even Somali poetry is typically presented within the language's oral literary tradition even today. Probably even today, yeah, but okay. Yeah, all in all, I guess I'll just answer these questions because I'm curious to see if they'll give me another module, honestly. Oh, I guess this was from math, and can I move between different sections? I'm just answering random questions. I'm not really a math guy, as you guys can probably tell. Okay, well, that gives you a little bit of an overview of the Princeton Review, who I think have done a nice job. I'm just not really sure how many questions they actually have available for me at this point. But if they keep up this kind of like level, I think they're going to be in a good situation. Like they just have a lot of resources to bring to bear on digital SAT versus a lot of these other companies, honestly. So score my drill. I have no idea how much of it I even did. Okay, well, yeah. I don't know why they're mixing all this stuff together. Let's see their explanations. Is a could be true trap answer. Okay, so they have their own little. I mean, the explanations I write are just a lot better than this, honestly. I hate to say it. Didn't get into that too deeply. I guess I got it wrong. I'm not that concerned about it. Yeah. Okay, well, that gives us a sense. Okay, well, I didn't mean to answer that. That was obviously the wrong answer. Way too strong. But yeah, all in all, a fine test. Not the best, but as far as like the practice test that I've taken go, this is probably the closest match to a real digital SAT. Yeah. So this is not a good question based on this, because how would this answer emphasize the authenticity of her portraits? She's sometimes, I mean, for quilts that resemble paintings. What is authenticity is supposed to be? It's using like authentic fabrics, right? So I don't know about that answer, but I'm not going to argue with Princeton too much. All right, so unfortunately they only have 20 questions. Princeton Review, if you're watching this, go ahead and expand your digital SAT stuff. Give me a call. We can do it, because you actually have not done anything that's really made me mad, unlike a lot of these other companies. So yeah, I just hope that you're not, and I don't think that you are, I just hope that you're not actually just kind of like shifting your paper-based stuff over into digital just to kind of like cut costs, because I know, for instance, like Erica Meltzer has done that, and it's not ended up well. And that actually could be a whole nother video where I talk about some of the slop that Erica Meltzer is now producing, and she has been, such a heavyweight in the SAT market. And then to see her digital SAT books is some of the issues. There's some major issues there. I mean, they're still probably the best that are out there, but one of the reasons that I've started writing my own books is just because I think she's kind of slipping, and some of those questions are just, and again, she's repurposed stuff that shouldn't have been repurposed. But yeah, again, that's a topic for another video. So take care. See you next time.